Middle of week 2 of spring ball. Nole Insiders Lane Hurt and Tim Linnefelt here with you on the practice fields, fresh off Wednesday's practice. On Monday, Tim, coach said the defense may have taken a step backwards. I think it's safe to say they got that step back today. Looked really good, dominated at times today at practice.
Yeah, I thought they really did bounce back in a big way, particularly in some of the situational stuff. You saw them work near the end of practice in some red zone drills and some goal line drills, and I thought that they looked really good. You know, you see a player like Corey Durden, who I think is having a really nice spring, becoming a force in the middle, you know, at least in some of those certain situations. Marvin Wilson, you know what he can do. That loaded secondary has done a pretty good job. That's not to say the offense didn't make their plays too, because I think they did, but by and large, I think the defense is probably pretty pleased with what they were able to do. And you know, it's kind of interesting to me, and I actually asked Coach Taggart about this a few minutes ago, was, you know, this time of year especially, but really any time of, you know, preseason camp or spring or what have you, it's kind of a difficult balance to know, like when you see, you know, something happen, a play or whatever, it's like, well, did the offense make a good play, or did the defense mess something up, or did the defense make a good play, or the offense mess something up? And I asked him how he balanced that, and he said that, you know, it kind of comes down to how guys react. He said you can see it because they know if they made the play, or if they were just in the right place at the right time, or if something happened that wasn't supposed to. They know. It's not like, you know, they have misillusions about what happens. And so he said that's what, when you go back and evaluate the film, you can tell, you know, if what was supposed to happen happened. And it sounds like, you know, from his perspective, it's a lot of good give and take. Like you said, the offense took some steps forward on Monday, and the defense, I think, maybe got a little bit of the better of it today. But by and large, it seems like, you know, because they're doing the right thing, and not because, you know, one group isn't up to par at this point, or one group is still, you know, learning where to be or what to do. It's not, I guess, plays of convenience. It's actually what's supposed to be happening.
Offensively, we've made some observations. I think today James Blackmon talked for the second time, and just him coming out, he had a really big bounce in his step. He's always been a confident, charismatic guy. You see even more so that he's the starter. I can't remember who said it, but one of the guys we interviewed this morning said, you know, he's got that James juice. he comes out, he's got that swagger. He said he kind of feels it more now that he's the guy. Have you noticed that during practice that he does carry himself a little more confidently?
I think he does. Like you said, he's never lacked for confidence, and don't confuse that for arrogance, because I don't feel that way at all. Mm-hmm. But I think he carries himself the way that, you know, you feel, and certainly he feels that quarterbacks have to carry themselves. And I think being a little bit older now, he's in his third year in the program, and a lot of the guys surrounding him on offense are around his age. You know, it's not like he's a freshman in a huddle full of juniors and seniors. I think naturally your confidence grows in that regard. And then look, it is what it is. He's the most experienced guy on the roster. You know, 2 years ago when he came here, that wasn't the case. Last year, it wasn't the case. And you know, you carry yourself in a certain way, knowing that you're kind of, at least as of right now, the guy. I mean, his teammates say that. Coach Taggart essentially says that. You know, I do think, you know, maybe there could be a road to travel, but I don't know if there's any way to argue that James Blackmon has pole position to be Florida State's starting quarterback. And you know, I think it's a credit to him that he's responded to that in a positive fashion. You know, somebody else, maybe you look at that depth chart and see the way things are, you know, look like they're probably going to shake out, and maybe you go hit the couch and you know, just kind of chill for a little while, knowing that you don't need to work as hard as you did to get to this point. But by and large, that hasn't been the case. I think with James Blackmon, you see it on the practice fields for one thing, but you see it, I really think, in the way his teammates talk about him. You know what I mean? Like, guys get asked about their teammates all the time, and you know, like everybody, you know, says, you know, nice things, or he's working hard, or he's becoming better. And not to say that all those things aren't true, but man, the guys really, really like James Blackmon. I don't know, I mean, I've been covering this team for 13 years now. I don't know that there's ever been another player who has been so, you know, guys come up with new adjectives, new ways to talk about James Blackmon, and so that to me really speaks volumes on offense and defense.
And finally, you had some observations about some of the second-year guys in this program, particularly on offense, guys who have looked really strong so far.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, I really, really like the second-year receivers. Obviously, Keyshawn Helton, you saw what he could do last year, but there's a trio of redshirt freshmen, Jordan Young, DeMarcus Adams, and Warren Thompson. I think all those guys have made some pretty nice plays out here this spring. Jordan Young, especially especially to me, has been kind of one of the low-key, pleasant surprises of the spring. I think he looks really, really nice out there. Keeping on the offense, Anthony Grant is a guy who I really like. I think he's got an opportunity this spring to kind of impress because, the running back depth chart isn't quite as crowded as it was a year ago. Kalen LeBourne is out practicing, but he's not taking full contact. He's still in the blue non-contact jersey. So really the guys getting most of the work at running back are Cam Akers. You know what he can do. And then Anthony Grant. And so I think he's getting a lot of reps both with the first and second team. And he looks really good. He's strong. He's fast. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. I think they're going to find a way to get him involved this fall.
There you have it, Seminole fans. Much more this spring as practice continues. We will take that break for spring break, and we'll be back right after that to get you ready for that April 6th spring game. For Tim, I'm Lane. Go Noles.